I received a custom order for some keychains and I decided to go ahead and make a YouTube video to show you how I made them. So she had some specific requirements for these keychains. They're going to be Christmas presents and she wanted 20 of them. And they had to have a cross on them and they had to have a red cardinal and a Bible verse on each keychain. So I went ahead and decided to mix up the resin and put some white mica powder in it, so that will be our base color for our keychains. And I didn't even fill them about half full of this white resin so that we had enough to work with for the top layers. Once you've filled all those in, just go ahead and let them set overnight so they can finish hardening, and then we can move on to the next step. So I went ahead and found some pretty red cardinals and some crosses that I could use in these keychains, and I also went ahead and typed out some of the Bible verses and made them the correct size for these keychains. This paper I will link in the description below the video, and it's really great. I wasn't sure how it would work out the first time I used this paper, but it works really well. It doesn't bleed into the resin or anything. The picture stays good, and you'll see the finished product at the end. And these, when you take it off the white backing, they are clear stickers, and they work really well for any type of project you want to use. And just cut them off as close to the actual picture as you can, so you don't have all of that extra clear sticker around your actual image. And you will almost not be able to tell that these are stickers in your resin project, which I also really like. And this is a great way to customize any of your resin projects and to add personalization as well. So I'm going to go ahead and see how they fit into each of these keychains. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just laying them there to see how well they'll fit. And this, I decided this verse was a little bit too big for that circle, so I moved it over to the wider one. See how I'm getting as close as I can to the image. So that right there isn't quite wide enough because I wanted to put a border along the circle, so I moved it over to the wider version there. And just make sure your sticker's down really well. Rub it pretty good so that it won't have any resin go up underneath it when we're putting our top layer on. And then go ahead and put your images there wherever you want them. And you can see once you put your stickers on, you can't tell very well that they are stickers. And once you get the border and the resin on top, it looks really pretty. So this is the only specification she gave me. So I asked her if it would be okay to take these rose petals and crush them up and put them along the border, because I thought this looked a little too plain. And I'm glad that she said yes, because it really makes them pretty. I was thinking about putting the gold foil in, which I just showed you, but I decided that would be a little too much, so I didn't put that in there. The way I'm going to put this on the border to make it stick is I'm going to be using the Mod Podge. And I actually use the Mod Podge matte, which is right here. And it was a rough start because I was trying to figure out how exactly to do it in a quick way, but there isn't a quick way. It took a really long time to put these rose petals along the border. But the best way I found is to put the Mod Podge on the border first and then put your rose petals in, and it goes much faster that way. But then once you do that, you actually need to let it set for quite a few hours, maybe even best to do it another night so that it's completely set up and dried before you put your clear resin top on. So you can see it's a tedious process. It'll take you quite a while to get this part done, but it's worth it because they're beautiful in the end. And this video is even sped up slightly, so this isn't even actually like how long it took just to do this little bit. Look how pretty they turned out. And that's with the Mod Podge, and then you do all of them and let them set overnight. And now we're going to go ahead and do our resin. The resin I use, you mix equal parts of A and B into it, and you want to mix it for around 4 to 5 minutes to completely incorporate it together. Then you can just place it right on top of your finished base and fill it completely to the top of that mold. That way you won't have a rim or edge at the top. And this was a quick part, so I enjoyed just being able to hurry up and put this clear resin on and let it set. Now once you have this completed, you do have to let this set overnight. So this is a few day process. Each layer will take you an overnight to cure or dry. Also, once I was done with this, I did take a lighter and a toothpick to get all the bubbles. I would bring the bubbles to the top with a toothpick and then use a lighter to pop the bubbles. I did not show you that part in this video. Now here is the actual demolding, and they turned out so cute. The side even looks pretty with those rose petals. And then I'm going to show you how to turn these into a keychain. This mold, I think, is actually for those grips that you put on your phone, the pop grips, but it works beautiful for keychains, and I use it for that all the time. So you could also turn these into a phone grip as well if you wanted. I love how all of the items fit in there perfectly, and that border just really made it a finished look. You can see how each of these molds are slightly different. The edges on this one are more edgy, and some of them are just plain circles. This keychain kit is great. I'm going to link this and all the supplies that I used in my description below the video, but you can get this whole keychain kit. It comes with the jump rings, the eye screws, and the actual keychain part to make these into keychains. And this drill is separate, but you use the drill first and then you put your eye screw in. Now the eye screw, I did this weird. I don't know why I did it this way. I usually have it held by pliers, but for some reason I used my fingers on this first one. And then I actually twist the resin piece into the eye screw because I found that so much quicker than trying to use pliers to move it around. So then I'm going to just tighten it a little bit. Another pro tip is you don't want to wait to do this part for a few days after. As soon as you demold these, it's best to go ahead and drill them because they get really hard the longer you wait. So if you're doing it like the night after, you're going to have a more pliable resin to get that in there because it'll really hurt your hand if you have to do a lot of these when it's hard. So it's best to do it when it's more pliable. Then you just put the jump ring into the eye screw and the keychain part, and you have a beautiful keychain that's finished. And I hope that she'll really like these. I'll send her a picture of the finished products and let her know that they're ready for her Christmas presents. I really liked how they turned out. If you like this tutorial, I have a ton more on my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe, and I hope that you have a blessed day. And I hope that you try this out yourself. And if you do, comment and let me know how it goes. Thank you for watching.